So far in this session, we've looked at two basic facts about what Jesus expected from Christianity. First, he expected it to be big. He had global expectations for this thing he was starting. And second, he expected it to be bad. It was made up of normal human failures, and unscrupulous people would try to take charge and steer it away from its proper purpose. Yet it would survive. It would form a radical new community, and it would be a doorway through which millions of human beings could enter in a new experience of God, a new life of love and power, and a new community where they'd find acceptance and belonging. This is pretty much what's happened. Yes, there have been many embarrassments, from the medieval Pope Benedict IX, a murderer, adulterer and racketeer, to the Methodist minister whose chaotic leadership almost capsized the Cooperative Bank in 2013, and who turned out to have an alarming interest in illegal drugs and rent boys. But there has also been an incredible record of changed lives, altered people, and new hope in society after society across the world. Today, the church is growing as never before. In Africa, at the start of the 20th century, there were 8 million Christians. Now the number is about to reach 600 million. In Asia, over the next 30 years, there will be 100 million more Christians than before. When the communists took over Russia, they dedicated themselves to eradicate Christianity within a few years. As the Soviet Empire crumbled in the late 1980s, it emerged that there were actually more Christians in Russia than there had been at the time of the revolution. Why has the church shown this ability not just to last, but also spread itself everywhere? Jesus believed it all had to do with his death. He said, "Unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds." Why did he believe his death would have so much power? Not just because he would be a glorious martyr. There have been lots of martyrs down through history, for lots of different causes. And each of them has inspired people for a while, then been forgotten. Jesus would have been the same. No. He believed that his death would achieve something unique. That when he died on the cross, he would be taking on himself all the sinfulness, failure, arrogance and pride of the human race, and paying the price for it himself. He would take the blame for the evil of the human race and shoulder the punishment we deserve, so that we would never suffer it ourselves. That's why, on the cross, he shouted, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" The words come from an Old Testament psalm, which talks about the experience of being completely alone in the universe. Cut off from the love and presence of God, the only thing that warms and brings colour to human life. Literally, that's what hell is all about. And Jesus quite deliberately passed through hell so that we would never have to. It's what the prophets had predicted many years before. Isaiah wrote, "He was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed." And he went on, "We all, like sheep, have gone astray, each of us turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." Jesus read these words and believed they spoke about his mission. He was the one who would have to die so that people could be forgiven. And that's why he never resisted his enemies, ran away, or schemed to stay alive. His death was vital and inescapable. More than 2,000 years later, as millions of people around the world claim to have found a new life and freedom in following him, he appears to have been right.